Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, the last of the 4 inmates that escaped the Raymond Detention Center was found this morning.
And the Memphis City Council plan to add stricter gun laws to prevent violence in their streets.
We've been lucky with some sunshine this past week, but storms are headed our way. Keep watching for your 5-day forecast. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Hannah Baker.
And I'm Alexi Intercheck. The last of 4 inmates who escaped the Raymond Detention Center on April 22nd were captured and taken into custody this morning. According to a tweet from Hinds County Sheriff Tyree Jones, escapee Corey Harrison was into custody at a residence in Crystal Springs. A female acquaintance is also facing charges from the investigation. Of the 4 escaped inmates, 2 have been confirmed deceased. The body of 34-year-old Casey Grayson was discovered in a vehicle in New Orleans on April 30th, and Dylan Arrington was killed in a shootout with the law enforcement officers on April 26th. It is believed that the 4 inmates escaped from the center through breaches in a cell and the roof.
Victim of a Memphis kidnapping managed to escape. According to the South Haven Police, a complaint was made about an aggravated domestic assault and kidnapping on Tangletree Drive and Tullahoma Road. After being able to escape, the victim notified police. Uniform Patrol, SWAT, and the Crisis Negotiations Team made it to the scene where the suspect surrendered. And the city of Memphis might see some changes in their gun laws as the city council looks at ideas aimed at getting guns off of their streets. In response to Governor Lee's plans to discuss mass shootings and ways to stop them, members of the Memphis City Council met Tuesday to introduce ordinances that they feel could control the guns and in return control the violence. Councilman Chase Carlisle stated it's mind-boggling that it is easier to carry a fireman than it is to drive a car or be certified as a beautician. Councilman Jeff Warren stated that what might be good 97 other counties is not right for Memphis, and it is a public health emergency. Although the plan puts them in direct conflict with state law, the council says that they are willing to keep up a fight if it means the people of Memphis are safe, even if it ends up in the courts.
Following the state's largest embezzlement scandal, former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant plans to release text messages and emails Monday that he claims will clear his name. These messages and emails were requested by the defendants in 2 civil suits associated with the misuse of millions of dollars in temporary assistance for needy family funds. Following the construction and funding of a volleyball center at the University of Southern Mississippi, the suits were brought by the Mississippi Free Press, Mississippi Today, and Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. According to former NFL quarterback Brett Favre, approximately $5 million in TANF funds were given to construct the Hattiesburg campus volleyball stadium. Last July, Bryant's records were subpoenaed. And the Jackson Medgar Wiley Evers International Airport and Hawkins Field have officially become the first in Mississippi to be declared storm ready. Mississippi Emergency Management Agency Executive Director Stephen C. McRaney said that the airport being storm ready adds reassurance since more than 1 million travelers come through the airport. Yesterday, a ceremony was held at the airport to promote hurricane awareness and storm ready status. A tour of 2 airplanes used by the hurricane hunters was held by the National Weather Service and the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. Those who were present at the ceremony had the opportunity to go inside the 2 planes and see the technology used to help prepare the pilots for severe weather.
After receiving devastating news about her health, a daycare worker got a sweet surprise from her co-workers. A Memphis daycare worker with cancer received a blessing when her co-workers decided to get together and raise money. Patricia Brown, who was diagnosed with colon cancer, hasn't been able to work as much due to her treatments. She is known as a bright light and a helping hand at the First Step Learning Academy, which is why her coworkers wanted to help. She received a Pass It On surprise, which was $300 from News Channel 3 and $700 from anonymous donors. Patricia was beyond thrilled and said it could not have come at a better time since she's been struggling recently. Starting today, the Memphis Zoo has a brand new exhibit. It is called Artists and Animals and features portraits of animals who currently live at the zoo, created by patients at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. The art on display was made by patients during art therapy, which is intended to help lift the spirits of children with life-threatening illnesses. The exhibit will remain open for the foreseeable future for all to enjoy and appreciate the hard work put into these works of art. If you've been wanting to adopt a pet recently, now is your time. The national adoption event, Empty the Shelters, will be happening in Oxford from May 1st to May 15th.
The event is held by the Bissell Pet Foundation at the Oxford Animal Resource Center, along with 350 other shelters across the states. Adoption fees will be 50% off, and Bissell will pay the difference rate so shelters don't lose revenue. They will also vaccinate and neuter the animals. To see which dogs are available for adoption or more information, visit oxfordarc.org.
That is so sweet. I didn't even know that we had that going on.
That is so sweet. That makes me want to adopt a puppy.
I know. My roommate has been begging to get a dog, so I'm like, okay.
It sounds like the perfect time.
Exactly. Now might be your time. And with this semester coming to an end, organizations are starting to finalize their last items for the year.
Yes, Hannah. For example, the Daily Mississippian has put out their last edition today. And if you have not gotten the chance to pick up yours, the papers can be found throughout the Oxford campus.
This week edition includes stories on the increase in tuition for Mississippi universities, the stresses of Dead Week, and medical marijuana research at the university. After the break, man choked to death following incident on the NYC subway.
Plus, studies reveal that the drug overdose levels have reached an all-time high during the COVID-19 pandemic. This and more on NewsWatch Ole Miss.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Got some news today from the radio man. He spoke the words somber and as softly as he can. The world stood still and the sky opened up. I made my way to fill up my coffee cup. Then it occurred to me as the daylight sky shone blue, today's the day that Johnny met June.
Have a good summer.
You too.
Thanks.
Hey, you must be bored.
No way.
This is the guy that I was running to in the library.
You're kind of
Yeah.
guilty. So,
Oh my god.
so you like to write on desks?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Now we're starting over, it's the place that we are. You look more pretty underneath all the stars of love. Is a burning thing. Oh, how I still love to hear you sing. Oh, and everything we ever heard about heaven is true. Today's the day that Johnny met June.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Newly released video shows an altercation on a New York subway train that resulted in the death of a rider. We warn you, this story features that video that may be disturbing to some viewers. After a rider on this Manhattan train put him in a chokehold Monday, the city's chief medical examiner is ruling the death a homicide, saying compression of the neck is the cause of death. The office notes whether or not that makes the chokehold a crime is up to the criminal justice system to decide. Investigators have not said if charges will be filed against the 24-year-old man who put him in the chokehold. He was already interviewed by police and released. A person with knowledge of the case says the victim was homeless. A witness who shot this video says he had been ranting aggressively about being hungry, making many passengers uncomfortable. The video from Juan Alberto Vasquez shows another rider subduing the victim with a chokehold. Vasquez says someone tried to mediate while another person appealed to help restrain the man. It's still unknown what exactly led up to the incident, how long the chokehold lasted, or whether the man was armed.
Ed Sheeran is not guilty of breaking copyright law with his hit Thinking Out Loud. That's the verdict from a New York City jury on Thursday. The panel found that the singer-songwriter did not wrongfully copy compositional elements from Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. That's despite allegations from family members of Gaye's co-writer Ed Townsend. According to Sheeran's defense attorneys, the two songs have different melodies and feature chords common in pop music. After the verdict was announced, Sheeran said that he was happy with the outcome while expressing the frustration that such cases make it to the court in the first place.
I'm obviously very happy with the outcome of the case, and it looks like I'm not having to retire from my day job after all. But at the same time, I'm unbelievably frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all. We've spent the last 8 years talking about two songs with dramatically different lyrics, melodies, and 4 chords which are also different and used by songwriters every day all over the world. These chords are common building blocks which were used to create music long before Let's Get It On was written, and will be used to make music long after we are all gone.
A jury has found 4 members of the far-right group, the Proud Boys, guilty of seditious conspiracy. This is the 3rd time prosecutors have secured convictions for that charge against those who breached the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Defendants Ethan Nordine, Joseph Biggs, Zachary Rell, Enrique Tarrio, and Dominic Pizzola faced a range of charges for their roles in the insurrection. Pizzola was the only jury could not reach a verdict for the seditious conspiracy charge. Unlike the other defendants, he did not seem to have a leadership role in the Proud Boys and was inactive in the group chats. The jury went back to deliberate on that count as well as others it could not reach a verdict on.
24-year-old Dion Patterson is in the Fulton County Jail Thursday after a nearly 8-hour manhunt in Atlanta on Wednesday. He is charged with the murder and 4 counts of aggravated assault after shooting at a medical office building. Atlanta police say 1 person is dead and 4 others are injured. 38-year-old Amy St. Pierre, an employee at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, has died. According to his mother, Patterson is a former Coast Guard member who became violent during an appointment because he couldn't get a prescription for an anxiety medicine. Atlanta police believe he carjacked a vehicle, which he used to flee the scene, later abandoning it near the Atlanta Braves Stadium in Cobb County. Patterson was captured at a nearby condominium complex around 8:00 p.m. Northside Medical, Midtown in Atlanta, the scene of the shooting, announced that all patient appointments today are canceled. Some U.S. households may want to hold off a little longer before making a major purchase. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced its 10th interest rate increase since last month. This comes as the nation inches closer to the debt ceiling deadline. John Lawrence reports.
The Federal Reserve's fight against inflation is not finished.
The strains that emerged in the banking sector in early March appear to be resulting in even tighter credit conditions for households and businesses.
The central bank voted unanimously to boost interest rates by 1/4 point on Wednesday. That brings the federal funds rate to 5.25%, a high not seen in over 15 years.
My colleagues and I understand the hardship that high inflation is causing, and we remain strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal.
Another financial matter still hovering over Washington, D.C., the debt ceiling crisis. According to the White House Council of Economic Advisors, the U.S. could lose more than 8 million jobs and cut the stock market in half if the country breaks its spending limit. President Joe Biden and most Democratic lawmakers want it raised without any spending cuts.
Our view about the path forward remains the same. Can't choose the Default on America Act, must avoid the horrors of default, pass a clean bipartisan bill to avert default.
But some Republicans say Biden needs to hammer out a deal with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
The Speaker of the House has been sitting at the grown-ups table for months, waiting for President Biden to act like a leader.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Drug overdose deaths in the U.S. rose to record levels during the COVID-19 pandemic. That's according to a new report released Wednesday from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It details the deadly rise of fentanyl connected to drug overdose deaths across the country. Researchers took a closer look at the specific drugs on the death certificates of people who died of overdoses. The report found that fentanyl is significantly more likely to be involved in a deadly overdose than other common drugs. Nearly 70,000 people in the U.S. died of drug overdoses that involved fentanyl in 2021. That's almost a four-fold increase over 5 years. It was the most common drug involved in fatal overdoses across age groups, race and ethnicity groups, and genders in 2021. Fentanyl is 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. It's typically prescribed in the form of skin patches or lozenges. But most recent cases, overdose and death in the U.S. are reportedly linked to illegally made fentanyl. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back. Stay with us.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Two flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
We had another gorgeous day here in Oxford, and it is definitely making me very excited for the summer.
Me too, Hannah. Let's check in with weather anchor Hannah Wong to see if this beautiful weather is staying with us for the weekend. Hannah?
Thank you so much. Yes, it has been beautiful here in Oxford and our surrounding areas. It's been so nice to see everyone out in the sunshine in the Grove, just laying around campus and enjoying this weather before we all go our separate ways. We currently have a temperature of 78 degrees with sunshine and some clouds today here in Oxford. And we have the same regionally. Everyone's staying in the 70s with Holly Springs and us here in Oxford a little bit warmer than the rest. And looking into tonight, we have a low of 60, cloudy, and here's the bad news with a slight chance of late showers, a 22% chance right there. So just be on the lookout if you're out late tonight. And tomorrow we will have a high of 70, cloudy with occasional rain showers and some thunder possible. So I know we haven't had some of this weather in a while, so you might want to get out your rain jacket and umbrella if you're going to be outside for your Friday. And we have the same: South Haven 69, Corinth 66, but the rest of us with highs of 70 for tomorrow. And like they asked, I've got our weekend forecast, and it's a little bit of bad news. We will have some rain all weekend. Like I said, Friday, overcast with some showers, thunder possible with scattered nighttime showers and possibly some thunderstorms. Saturday, isolated thunderstorms in the morning, but it will clear up just for the afternoon, partly cloudy and a few nighttime clouds. And Sunday, it will be cloudy in the morning with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day and throughout the evening. And past this weekend, looking into your finals week, our final week here at Ole Miss in Oxford, we will have rain just about every day, some high percentages there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with some highs. We'll finally get up into the 80s with our highest being 85 on Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday.
It makes me really sad to hear that next week is going to be all rain because I've been tanning all week and I need to keep it up.
I know. That's just the bad news, but hopefully we've got some things to look forward to in sports, Taylor.
Yes, y'all. Well, coming up, fresh off a midweek win against Little Rock, the baseball team has a big SEC showdown with Missouri this weekend, and the Celtics dominated the 76ers last night to even the series at 1 game apiece. I'll have that and more next up in sports.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts here at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character, your contributions, your friendship. Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, build your legacy.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
And welcome to Sports Watch. I'm Haley Hood. Starting things off in sports, Mike Bianco and his squad will hit the road this weekend and will travel to the Show State to take on the Missouri Tigers in an SEC tilt over the next few days. The first pitch is set for Thursday night at 6 p.m. and can be seen on the SEC network. Ole Miss is coming off its first SEC series win of the season after taking 2 of 3 games against the Georgia Bulldogs last weekend. The Tigers come into the weekend after a 9-7 win over Kansas on Tuesday, but they got swept by Florida on the road. This is set to be a good matchup, so good luck to the Rebs. The Southeastern Conference announced today that Ole Miss women's golf saw 3 golfers come away with an all-conference honors to wrap up the 2023-2022 campaign. Senior Andrea Lignell came away with her first All-SEC nod since being named the first All-SEC freshman team in 2020. As Lignell earned her first team as All-SEC honors, fellow senior Kiara Tamberlini also came away with All-SEC honors for the second year in a row. Ellen Hutchinson-Kay also was honored by the conference, receiving a place on the SEC Community Service Team. Congratulations to every single one of you. And another huge congratulations to Kenny Broadnax of the Ole Miss men's track and field and Ellen Hutchinson Kay of Ole Miss women's golf have been named Ole Miss winners of the Brad Davis SEC Community Service Award for the 2022-2023 season. This award honors one male and one female student athlete from each of the SEC's 14 member institutions. School winners receive a $10,000 postgraduate scholarship. Both of these recipients have made major contributions for the betterment of Ole Miss and the community of Oxford as a whole. There is no one more deserving for this award. And finishing things off in sports, the Boston Celtics walked off the court extremely angry in Game 1 of the series, giving up the home court advantage in their series opening loss to the 76ers. They used this ambition and fight to take Game 2 against the 76ers with a score of 121-87. Jaylen Brown scored 25 points and stated that he believes his team needs to take more pride in themselves, and they underperformed in Game 1, but that's what led them to persevere through this loss and make a win. Game 3 will take place tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., so tune in to witness this fight and ambition from both teams. And for the last time this semester, that's all I've got for sports. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Haley. Up next, we'll share what National Day today is.
And for my Star Wars fans, it will come as no surprise. We'll be right back with this after the break.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
We're here when you're ready.
We are rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
May the 4th be with you.
Today is National Star Wars Day. It falls on May 4th every year. And if you're wondering why, it's just like what Hannah said, May the 4th be with you. See what they did there?
Okay, so what's the best to celebrate one of the most well-loved movie franchises in history? Here are 4 ideas for May the 4th. You could start by following the official Star Wars Twitter account, then grab some popcorn and binge the many Star Wars films that have been produced or the TV and streaming spin-offs. Or you could relax and enjoy the memorable film scores streaming on Spotify and Apple Music.
Finally, you can take a moment to remember the late actress Carrie Fisher, who played Princess Leia. Fisher died in 2016 at age 60.
Well, sad to say, but that is all we have for tonight. With NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Hannah Baker.
And I'm Alexia Anderchek.
With Sports Watch, I'm Haley Hood. And with Storm Watch, I'm Hannah Wong.
We cannot thank you all enough for tuning in this semester. And this is sadly our last show until the fall. Sorry for being emotional. I just love y'all so much.
There's Thursday forever.
Yes.
Thursday forever, and we hope you have a great summer, and we will see you all again in just a couple of months. Thank you again, and have a great night.